Hey there guys, Joey here, CEO of Microraptor Games and the Twitch developer that you often see during the streams or on our YouTube videos. I wanted to give you a bit of an update on our next build for Cauldron Chronicles, when that can be expected, why it's taken so long, and what can be expected in it. This is going to be off the cuff. I don't really want to spend a lot of time editing, it's a waste of my time, I got other things to do today, but I will try to get you through what's been going on with us since August, since I think that was our last time with a build with the underwater biome. So of course, we've been hard at work since then. We've been implementing a lot of new things, and I'm going to run through some of those things today, right now, for you to see, so that you don't think that we're not getting any work done, but I'll also tell you a bit of why potion combat and everything related to it has taken a lot longer than I had anticipated. Short story, I underestimated how much work it would be. Longer story, in order to determine the proper path forward with regards to our vertical slice, we needed to test some things, and the things that we initially tested weren't the proper solutions or the solutions that we wanted to go down. And then with the holidays and everything, certain people who were working on it didn't have the time to get to it. It is what it is, right? So either way, I want to run you through some of the things that we've been implementing and talk a bit about what they are. So first up, I would say, is a pretty big inventory overhaul, supporting not only the addition of gold, finally. It's been quite a while since we've seen anything like that, but also we have all of our ingredients, seeds, and any junk items, mostly sellable to merchants, that you can obtain from like loot and stuff. So we have a better inventory. It's not perfect, but I think that it's pretty decent for what we want, and this is one of the bigger things that we spent time to implement. Additionally, I don't believe this was in the last update. We have a hotbar, and you can assign potions to that and throw those potions on the ground. And we are starting to work on some of the effects, as you can see, for when you throw potions. Obviously, this is a prototype, so there are a lot of visual aspects to these that are still a work in progress. Beyond that, as you would expect, if you have things that can go into your inventory, we need to be able to loot things. So we have some fun little things that you can find around the world, such as, some junk sacks like we have here, or potions that are randomly generated. Could be good, could be bad, who knows. Here we have some pretty decent ones, though. And of course, some ingredients, too, for that. So we're still working on all these things, and, it's nice to be able to run around and find interesting things in the world that might be beneficial towards your progress in the game and with NPCs. Additionally, one of the more noticeable aspects that has been improved is a new, well, it was supposed to be a hut. I got a little bit carried away and I ended up making more of a mansion. I've been working hard at filling it up, but there's still room for improvement in certain aspects. We have a whole second story to this as well that I didn't really place anything up here because I don't really have anything to place up here, but we do have room to expand, which is always a good thing. Nice little balcony as well. Beyond that, let me see here. We do have some enemies that have been worked on, and we are, of course, continuing to improve these. These are kind of one of the things that we're working on most immediately. You can see that, for instance, some of them die right away when it comes to fire, and you can loot their bodies. Or any loot. Of course, there's a lingering sound bug that we have to fix with that zombie. That's, don't worry, we'll fix that up. Is what it is. We also have, if I can get some here, occasionally you will receive seeds when harvesting certain ingredients. I am not getting lucky, unfortunately. But let's pretend that I have gotten lucky. There are now some farming patches that you can interact with. You can see basic info of the biome that it's placed in, the light level that you have, and you can choose seeds to grow. And of course, you can see this grows into lady fern. We have 99 lady fern in our inventory because we cheated. You can see the acceptable biomes that you can grow the lady fern in. and the light requirements for it. So it requires full light or partial light, and it grows in 48 in-game hours. So of course, as we pass growth cycles, so every hour in-game, let's wait. You'll hear it. It'll do it. Just be patient. Now, do it. There it was. You heard it. You can see the little baby version of the plant growing. Sorry, that took a while. We must have planted it right as the growth cycle hit. So that's always nice. Additionally, we of course replaced the old tree that you can heal with a potion by interacting. You can now throw a potion at it. I'm pretty sure it should work unless we bugged it out with something. Let's make a restore health potion. Now, one thing you'll notice hasn't changed a lot would for sure be our potion making. We are intending to do a larger overhaul of alchemy and to do some improvements on it. That is not going to happen with the next build, but it will probably happen with the following build. We'll make a quick restore health potion. I don't know if this was in the last build, but we do have a randomize potion name button, which will change the name based on the effects that are in the potion, which is pretty nice. So if you're not great at naming potions like me, that is one option that you have available to you. Let's see if this still works. It does not right now. That is okay. We will get that fixed. Either way, that is the intention, so that will be in the next build. I'm testing things off the cuff. I've also broken, for some reason, merchants, and I wanted to show that off to you, but for some reason, the merchant isn't spawning, and I don't know why. You know what? I think I know why. Let me see here. Well, it should be. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to jump over to a different version of the build, since I might have broken something here. Let's jump over here. Actually, this will be good to show you because there are a few other things that I've been working on in a separate branch. And while that's loading, we can run over. So we have done a full effect and flavor overhaul. This took a lot of time, of course. It took a week. But we have replaced all of those placeholder Skyrim effects with our own ones. And these are ones that we would intend to have in the final game. So, we've gotten rid of the old ones, and we've also improved flavors by adding 4 new flavors to every ingredient and a radar chart. And I think that was visible in what I showed you, but I can pull that up again. I had to overhaul all of the NPC dialogues that we had to accommodate the new flavors. Again, that took up quite a bit of time. We have the junk items, the pickup widget. We added a lore bookshelf. I'll show you that because I'm pretty happy with how that turned out. Let me see if I can cheat in some of that here. Again, I apologize. I am doing this quite off the cuff. I think it's this one. Okay, we can cheat that in. And I will do my best to show you the merchant that we made. Now, this merchant is more than just a merchant. She also has an entire storyline of her own, and you can provide her with a potion. So we're going to get her to spawn here. First Spoon will spawn. We have to kill him. That's okay. As you can see, you will find books throughout the world, and you are able to read them. Oop. I closed it. And as you find these books within the world, they will automatically be sent to your lore bookshelf, where you can read them at any time. And now reading these books will have an impact on the NPCs that you speak to. So by finding this book and reading certain sections, you might open up new dialogue options with NPCs. So that's always a good thing. Let me get Spoon killed and we should spawn the merchant, and I can show you while that's happening. Here's the new flavor radar chart, as you can see here, and the values next to it. And then of course we have the effects here with the ones that we had more intended to have in the final game. You might notice up here fishing info. I will show you the fishing minigame that we have so far. It is, I would say, a work in progress. There are definitely improvements we can make to it. I hope this works. I don't know why the merchant is not spawning. Let me see if I can fix that for you guys live. I don't know why she wouldn't be working. That's old. That is not the right one. This is the right one. You know what? I will try to force her to spawn. Let's see. Can we get her to spawn? That is still Spoon. Okay, I do not know why my merchant is not spawning when she should be. That is very unfortunate. I might have to edit this video down then. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, because she hold on, let me delete this. That might be why. Right now I require that you see Spoon first before we can spawn her. There she is. She's coming. Okay, sorry about that. I do not have a command to cheat in gold right now. But we can take a look. Actually, you know what? Let me cheat in gold because there is an important aspect to one of the things that she sells. Let me do that real quick. Okay, now we can test her. Sorry, I did not prepare for this video in any way. I said, you know what? I think that I have enough to show. And there won't be any bugs. Turns out there are bugs. So don't worry, we'll get those fixed up. Like I said, this merchant does have a story of her own. We're not going to be doing that story in this video, but when we release this build, you can discover her lore and story for your own. We are going to talk to her, and you can see here that we have our own player potions, ingredients, seeds, and other that you can sell to her. We have the player's gold, the merchant's gold, and the rates at which she buys and sells at, as well as her feelings towards you, like your reputation with her. Helping her with her quest and doing a better job will increase her feelings towards you, and you know, the opposite, maybe not doing a very good job, will decrease that, so it will hurt the prices that you have to buy and sell at. So you can buy and sell things, as you can see here, and this is, we are selling things to her, so we are increasing our own gold. These do go to her her inventory, where we can also buy them for more expensive, of course. She also sells a greenhouse. Now this is a pretty cool aspect. So this is something that I wanted in the game, and I wanted to be sellable by merchants. This is in fact a usable item, which, as you can see here, there is nothing over here. But if you open up your inventory, you can use the greenhouse, which adds the greenhouse to your hut/mansion, which of course has farming plots in here. And these farming plots can support anything from any biome except for one, and I'll show you that in a second here. So we can grow things in here, and they will grow with the normal amount of time. Of course, the light levels are still dependent on the light levels you see here, but the biome is kind of universal in this case. Let's jump over to fishing, and I can show you what we've done with that. I hope my bugs do not bother you guys too much right now. So of course with our, I'll fix that. With our last build, we added the underwater biome where of course you can swim and you know, have some pretty fun adventures underwater. We are planning to add fish and creatures that swim underwater. That is not of high priority right now. Potion combat is our highest priority. Since that build, the underwater build though, because you can now loot things and we have like treasure chests and things of that nature, we do have some loot underwater that you can find. I know of a treasure chest and hopefully it will spawn some potions and ingredients. I can show you some cool physics that we've implemented. It should be right down here. There will be a breath bar or oxygen that will of course be coming at some point, probably with the next build. We spawned a spoon nut. As you can see, it is floating in the water. The potions do that too. Unfortunately, this treasure chest did not spawn a potion this time, so I couldn't show that off. But it would operate in the same way. And the nice thing about the potions is that they do have liquid physics in them that are part of the material. When we have potion combat, you will be able to see the potion that you've made in your hand, and as you walk around and move it around, it'll slosh the potion, as you can see here. So that's pretty nice. Let me show you the underwater farming plot. So right now we only have one plant that you can find seeds of for underwater. That is the Siren's Reef Seed. However, you are able to grow this underwater. The mesh is a little bit big, so you do clip into it a little bit. We'll just ignore that for the moment. But as you can see here, it does grow, and again, after 48 hours, so I can kind of cheat it a little bit here. As you can see, it is grown, and we can harvest it. This was with a... That's weird. There's a bug here. Which branch am I on? Okay, there's weird. There was a bug here. There was a bug where I didn't get the seed. I swear I fixed that, but I guess I forgot to merge that or something. Either way, that's what that looks like. Let's jump back to daytime and I can show you the fishing system. Books are also findable in the open world, so of course this is a Fishing for Idiots guide. We have not written it yet, so it is completely empty. But what this book will do is teach you information about fishing bait. So there are some pretty good baits that you can use, mostly in regards to caterpillars and worms, such as the violet worm. And as you either learn about what fish they can catch on your own, or you read maybe this Fishing for Idiots book that will teach you these things, this now updates this fishing info tab. Sorry about that, I just had a hiccup. It was kind of embarrassing. So let's go over to one of our fishing spots. As you can see here, they are denoted by this by some particle effects. These are to help make it more visible just in general, but definitely during nighttime. And we do have some little fish that you can see swimming around here. Now the nice thing about this is, again, this is a prototype, so they look kind of horrible. As you fish, you can watch them move towards the bobber. So you select your bait. Bait is ingredients. And let's see if we can see one of the fish moving towards the bobber. Oh, here it comes. It's coming on the left. You can see it pulling down the bobber. I'm not going to get this one. So this is a lost fish. We missed that fish. It has consumed the bait. And now we have another one that might move towards our bobber. Let's see here. There we go. And we have a Stardew / Genshin style fishing mini game here. Thankfully this one was quite easy. We caught a carp. And similar to the bait, if you go to your carp in your list, let's see if we can find it. We can see information on what you can use to catch it. Don't know what that is. Some ingredient isn't working properly there. Whatever. Ignore it. Simple bug we can fix. So we have that. Additionally, we have other fishing spots. These are trapping spots. So unlike the more active style fishing that you have over there, we have passive fishing via trapping. And I don't know if I quite remember what bait is used here. Let me try a Siren's Reef Seed. I think this works. I think a Foxtail Cactus or a Toxicap works too. So these you bait with any ingredient, and over time, these will catch something if something can be caught with that bait. Oop, we heard one. Okay. As you can hear here, we did catch some toe biters. We caught 10 toe biters with the Toxicap, so we do now know that toe biters can be caught here. And similarly to fishing, if we take a look at toe biters, we can see that they are caught with Toxicap, which is quite nice. So we can collect those. What else can I show off? What else have we worked on? We've done a lot of improvements generally to the game. I was going to mention that we fixed bugs, but because we've already run into quite a few bugs already, you might not believe me, but we have fixed bugs, and we will continue to fix bugs. You know, I think that it is one of our primary focuses to make our prototype not bug-free or not perfect in that regard, but feeling playable and stable, not having crashes, not having progression issues, things of that nature. We will continue that focus as we go. I know something else that we can show off right now, though. Let me pull it up. So we have prototyped, and this will remain in a separate map, unfortunately, but if you download our prototype, you can cheat yourself into this map. I will likely leave instructions on how to do that in the game guide. Let me wait for shaders to compile here. There might be a couple hitches while we play this map because shaders will have to compile live. Now, I think this wasn't the last build, but like I said in the game guide, when we get this working, I will put some debug commands in here so you can cheat into the map and see how we want this to work. So using a separate pack, I have prototyped with data layers how we want different seasons to look. And as you can see here, we can walk on these, and it not only changes the assets that are in there, but also the materials, and even sometimes some of the animals. So as you can see here, some of the animals are only available in certain seasons. Now, the cool thing about this usage of data layers is that things that are supposed to exist in multiple seasons, such as this toadstool, or even this chest with loot inside of it, as the seasons change, the information will be propagated forward like that. So that's a really neat part of it. We can also corrupt or uncorrupt the world. So corruption is a mechanic that we intend to have, which will change the availability of ingredients in those biomes. It will change the behavior of enemies and creatures as well. Right now, we do not have the creature aspect working properly, but we do have the change in environment and also the ingredients. So I have not made the ingredient data here for the corrupted woody nightshade, as you can see, or the corrupted sunstreak. These are more just to illustrate this will be what happens when you have a corrupted biome, right? That the availability of ingredients does change with that. The corrupted toadstool we do have because that exists in the main map. And we can then uncorrupt, and as you can see, we have the normal versions of these ingredients back where relevant. So that's pretty cool. I think that was a fun little proof of concept that I think works. and it seems to work quite well from my perspective. I think it just works. I think it works, and I think that it proves that there is some pretty interesting aspects to changing of seasons, and also the corrupting of biomes. So we intend to include that in the full game on a much larger scale. The next thing that we worked on was some of the environmental puzzles. Now these are very, very much prototyped in this this test map. Again, you will be able to cheat into this map. However, these will actually be available in the dungeon that we intend to include in the next big build. So if you want to play with the prototype versions, I guess you can, but we intend to have a more proper version of these in the dungeon itself. So this is our light puzzle, our Aether light puzzle. It requires you to light up the torches in the correct order. This order can be changed on the blueprint itself, and in this map, the order is 2, 1, 5, 4, 3. You can see the numbers of the lights up here. Let's grab a whole bunch of our Aether light potions. Should still work. So if we try to light up 1, that obviously does nothing. If we try to light up 2, well, that is part of it because that is the first number in the order. But if we go outside of that order, it does reset. So let's do it correctly. 2, 1. Let me see here. 2, 1, 5, 4, 3. And that opens up our testing door, right? We could do anything. We might be able to have a platform or something that moves if you complete that. So all we need is for logic to be fired when you complete the puzzle. This other puzzle is a pressure plate puzzle. So we need to use a potion of slow to slow the door before it closes, or use a paralysis potion to paralyze the boar that's in here. And temporarily, I misspelled that, while he's standing on the pressure plate. So let's try the paralyzed version temporarily. So we can kind of scare him onto the pressure plate. And we can see that the door starts to open as he's standing on it. Let's see if we can... Oop. Ooh, okay, we got it. There we go. So we can see that the door is now open for us. He will continue to move after the paralysis potion wears off, and then the door closes back up. Another thing that we can do is use the slow potion. So let me demonstrate that here. So we can stand on here ourselves and open up the door. And then we can throw the slow potion, because right now if we try to run there, it closes way too fast, right? So let's wait for it to open and throw this slow potion on it. And now it's slowly closing and we can get there a lot quicker. Puzzle number 3 is a broken bridge puzzle. Pretend that this beautiful, very immersive green pit is poison, and we don't want to jump down there because ouchie ouchie, this would hurt us. We can use potions of concussive blast to blast the pillars of this bridge up here, as you can see here. And when we do so, the bridge collapses. Sorry, a couple compiling shaders created a hitch there, and we can jump across the broken bridge sections to the other side. So that's a fun little one. Okay, this last one is pretty cool too. This pedestal puzzle is lacking a lot of the visual elements that would be towards it. The original design is that the each pedestal would have a statue with a different face on it, and that face would dictate what effects you would need to have on a potion that you put into the pedestal. Pretend that that's the case here. We have to put a potion in each pedestal that has the right effect to satisfy the pedestal's requirements, and in this map the order of the potions is already set up on the table for testing purposes, so we can grab the potions in the right order, and we can equip them and then interact with the pedestal to put them in there, and of course we can always take those out. So if we pretend that we have deduced the right order, therefore the door opens. So those puzzles will be in the final build that you'll play next, and they will be a bit better, represented and shown off from a visual perspective. So those were very successful little bits of testing. Let me double check if there was anything else that I wanted to show off. Nothing too major. Added some more sound. So, oh, there is one thing, a main menu. So this, of course, will be present when you load up the game. It will allow you to set some initial settings up, as well as play around with the main menu, actually, because I am a big fan of 3D interactive main menus. It's one of my most fun things that I like to work on in a game, and I have done the same thing here. I think it will start playing some music. I will not let that play for a moment. As you can see here, we do have a hide UI button, and you can interact with things in this main menu, which is always quite fun. I don't know, oh, there's one. You can also play with the animals with the beach ball. And if you manage to hit the beach ball out of bounds, it will come right back. That's always part of the fun too. It's quite nice. So yeah, you can set up your initial settings here and modify the game settings to your liking. Maybe increase the grass render distance or something. And then you can start the game or exit from here. So nothing too crazy, but it is what it is. I think that's the last thing I have to say. Let me think if there's anything else I can mention. Oh, the next build will be playable via Steam. Now we're going to work out the exact methodology here because we don't want to make a public Steam page yet, since we are still very early into development and I don't want to mismarket the game or misrepresent what the game is. But I would like to have it playable in some way. So most likely what we will do is create a separate app for playtesting and send out keys to anybody that wants it. And then you can just redeem that key on Steam and it will add that public playtest to your library. This will not be the full version of the final game. It will be the probably up to vertical slice version, right? Because that'll be our demo. And then the vertical slice version, when we get that finished, will be put onto our public page as a demo. So in that case, the public play, the private playtest or public playtest, if we want to call it that, app ID will be not used anymore. So that's the plan. We just need to determine how to integrate all of that, how to set it up, and make sure that there is a easy system for people to request keys if they want it. There will probably be an upper limit that Steam will allow us to generate keys for that build. However, it's going to be in the probably tens of thousands, if anything, so we'll just play it by ear, all right? So there will be a way probably for you to come into our chat and in our Twitch chat or our Discord and, ping like a bot, say, request key, and it will spit out a key from a list, and you can use that into Steam. So that's the plan. I think that's all I have to yap about. I'm sorry, this probably took a bit longer than expected, but I wanted to show you that since August, we haven't been doing nothing. It's just that potion combat took longer than expected, and I can't do everything with potion combat, so I've had to get some help from friends. But because they don't have as much time, usually because they have full-time jobs, they've been working at their pace, and in the meantime, I've been implementing things that were kind of intended to be done after potion combat, but because I had time, I implemented them ahead of time, like the fishing, the farming, the merchant. But I think that these things will help to make the next build even better and a lot more finished than the August build, which added the underwater biome, but didn't really add any extra bits of gameplay to that, right? So the next build is going to be way more impactful to the way that you play the game, and we will only continue working on it from there. We, of course, still want to do the alchemy rework. We want to, I want to add more paths of progression, and we need to add some more NPCs, voice act for one of those NPCs. So we're going to be adding some more depth and polishing touches to the elements that are already in the game before we do a big pitching push this year, probably in the latter 2 quarters of the year, and try to get the funding for Vertical Slice. If that doesn't succeed, we'll play it by ear. I don't hide any of that stuff from you guys. There is a possibility that if we can't get the funding for Vertical Slice, I will try to go to Kickstarter and get some grants, and we will just do it the best we can on as tight of a budget as possible. We will make sure every dollar sings, and if we can make the Vertical Slice and the game is fun, we're golden. We can take it from there. We can get a publishing deal, a pretty good one, because we've already done that initial investment and verification of the game systems. So any publisher that we get from there is just going to help fund the rest of development and work for marketing, localization, porting, anything that we would like to have on that aspect of the game. Thank you for watching that. I hope that despite the length of this video that it was informative and that you enjoyed it. One final bit, I know I've said that 3 times now, I think. Let me copy this. We have, and this will be available in the link description, a public progress board via UTrack where you can see what we're working on, what we prioritized, and what we intend to have in the game. We are a small team, so a lot of these things don't have descriptions, properly, or may not have the precise estimation, mainly because we're just kind of working a lot in our free time, and we keep in constant communication that this is not necessary at this stage. But once we jump into actual production, we have funding, we will be taking this way more seriously and treating it professionally. So in this case, you would be able to see accurate estimations, proper descriptions, links to articles, which I think you should be able to see already, if I can find one here. Yes, you would have access to these. So you can see the design articles, which we'll be using for design documentation, and that way you can kind of read up about our intention of different systems and different ideas that we have for the game. These we intend to keep all public unless there's any sort of secretive nature to something like a spoiler, a secret region, or maybe some of the NPC stories that we don't want to spoil for players so that they can discover that on release day for themselves. But other things I think are very safe to include here, and I don't mind people reading that publicly. And you can't leave any sort of, I think even if you have an account, I don't think you can leave any comments on here. I don't know. I don't know. Can I actually attach a file? No. Okay. I had to make sure about that. Either way, thank you for watching that, guys. All the links for the UTrack will be in our description, and stop by our Twitch sometime. We are still working on this game, and on Monday, if you're still here on the video, we are doing a blueprint tutorial for the first 2 to 3 hours of the stream for people who have requested this, and we will just be teaching people the basics of blueprinting in Unreal. That will be uploaded to YouTube, of course, so if you happen to miss it, don't worry, it'll be uploaded later that day, and then we're jumping back into Cauldron Chronicles like usual. So thank you for watching this, have a wonderful weekend, and I am very excited to get you this potion combat build. It is a lot of work. It is a lot more work than I ever anticipated from the sound point of view, from visual effects, getting the back-end system of making these potion effects work, and we haven't even implemented the potion drinking yourself, so we're getting there. It is just a lot of work, and one day at a time. So thank you for watching. I will catch you next time, and take care, and I can't wait to tell you more about this build once we get closer to the release date. Bye bye, guys. Take care.